Okay. Alrighty then. Some of you will, well, some of you, there's like one or two people, but that's beside the point. Will probably hear about the passing of Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime. So he died at 85. I guess yesterday. Was it just yesterday? Last night? Um, but yeah. So along with Dolly Parton and I guess Tim Curry, which I I don't wish anybody dead, so don't misunderstand. Tim Curry is just not Tim Curry is a little weird, and I don't know. Yeah, but not that I wish him dead or nothing like that. I'm just saying, uh, Dolly Parton was supposedly a genuinely nice person. She helped people in Gatlinburg with when they had that fire over there uh, a few years ago, and gave the families that lost their homes like 1,000 a month or something like that of her own money, and just she just went down there and gave it to them, and other humanitarian things she's done a lot of, and supposedly she's really nice person. Um, Peter Cullen was part of my childhood growing up, so yeah, that's pretty sad. Tim Curry, not so much. Tim Curry, some of his characters to me are kind of funny, kind of creepy, and so if you liked Tim Curry or his movies or whatever, that's fine, I guess. But anyways, let us let us get to the task at hand. I've already kind of wasted 15 minutes just getting ready. You know how I am. But today we will get to. I'm actually going to bring up Grok to build too. I don't think I'll be uh, going in surface to surface vertical paths locked. Courtyard stays on surface. Yeah, thrown aside at mid hall. Okay, double doors. Uh, Violet at admin. Oh yeah, max red drama optional. Magic returns. Yeah. The magic. I gotta rearrange. How do we do this? Um. Okay, so what I'll do here in just a second is I'll finish up in the gallery. Um, and I don't know if you could call it gallery. I guess I don't know. Galleries like enclosed. Aren't galleries enclosed? I think they're supposed to be enclosed. Actually, let me look here. I should say architecturally, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be enclosed. The word originally meant a long, narrow, covered passage open on one or both sides. The meaning still stands. Dictionaries define a gallery as a covered passageway open on one side or both sides. The art display sense a room or building. It came later from the 1590s long architectural galleries. Okay, so if I have a castle in my game, um, and it has an inner courtyard, um, where on each side is a covered walkway, I can consider that a gallery, maybe. Yeah, I'm just seeing if the terminology is right. I'll probably just leave the page as it is, but I'm curious now. Obvious but not always architecture, one passage used for walking display. Enclosed, open one side, like a cloister walk or an arcade. So your right cover walks are closer to a cloister arcade. Okay. Cloister. I only associate cloister with cathedrals. I'm not sure because I've never looked up the definition before. Yes, gallery is a perfectly valid term for that. One definition of gallery is literally a covered passage facing. Oh. Series of arches on columns and pairs. Semi-outdoor room for sitting rather than a passage. Cloister. Specifically a covered walkway around a monastic courtyard. Oh. Colonnade. Those call themselves supporting the walkway. Okay. That's cool. It's basically a four-sided courtyard with an open area, a cross path with a fountain in the middle, and benches around it. The north, each side is bounded by a covered walkway. I suppose it might be supported with arches, but I haven't really visualized it that clearly. Okay. Very close to a peristyle courtyard enclosed on all four sides. The covered colonnade or arcade. Often a fountain cross-shaped paths. Classic peristyle layout from Roman and Renaissance architecture. Since it's a castle rather than a monastery, peristyle is your best bet. A few notes. Peristyle. The four-sided arrangement, courtyard surrounding covered walkways. The individual walkways are arcades if they have arches, or colonnades if they're just columns. Quadriporticus is a more specific and rare term that emphasizes four-sidedness. It's technically the most precise word for your layout, but it's obscure enough that you probably confuse players. Cloister is essentially the same shape, but carries a monastic association. You could use it in castle context. Many castles have cloister-like courtyards, but it'll read as a church/monastery to most people. Arcaded walkways. Okay. So I have a page titled up in the gallery, as the game is only a choose your own adventure style interactive story. Be updated later. Referring to the stairs, one of my main characters referring to one of my main characters using stairs from a service corridor up into the courtyard. Of course, this exits into the northern covered walkway. A lot of famous cloisters are in monasteries, cathedral word isn't limited to churches. A covered walk, usually around a courtyard or garden, open toward the middle. Used for walking under shelter. Monasteries use them a lot. Colleges, palaces, and castles use the same idea. Cloister still fills to the cathedral. You don't need it. Plain labels are fine. Covered walk, covered walks, arcade, row of arches, colonnade, columns holding up the roof. Covered walk or arcade. Arcade. Colonnade. Two N's. I don't want to drink any colonnade. Sorry. Images. 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 Oh, I see. I don't care. No, I don't want to do. No. Okay, I just looking at some pictures. That's really cool looking. I mean, it has arches in it, so technically it could also be called an arcade. Front wall consists of a pillared arcade. Cool. How about just what did I columns and arches? Let's just look at arcade. Yeah. Arcade architecture. There we go. Huh, interesting. So an arcade can be arches facing outward, but also in the tunnel. Hmm. That works really well. Open the gallery is a clean, evocative title and gives the player a sense of vertical movement up from the surface square to immediately place them on a covered walkway, specifically not to feel like a distinct location without being overly technical. It's accurate. The northern covered walkway is a gallery, so the title isn't just a flavor, it's a correct architectural label. Up does double duty. It signals both the physical movement stairs and a slight shift in status vantage. So you're now on the upper, more visible level of the courtyard. Yes, rather than utilitarian service corridor. It's a nice tonal shift. If you later want to differentiate walkway, checker ends up in the eastern gallery. On a later page, you can just say the eastern gallery, and it'll read naturally since the reader already knows what it means. The fountain court. In case I reference it for a up in the gallery versus the fountain court, so the titles don't all start sounding similar. Thanks. Okay, so with that out of the way, I should actually do some work, shouldn't I? See goes edge. Then he walks back to the right. Okay, so the way I had it here, he actually walked up into the center. Um, but the way I'm doing this, there isn't access. I mean, I could make access, but I don't need to make access, I think. Okay. So I'll leave it in gallery. And I noticed in the event text that he essentially goes into the center of the courtyard. But the way I have it now, the only entrance exit to the courtyard from the utilidors are the two on the west and east side. Um, does that sound okay, or does it need more exits, entrances? I know he takes the left because it's shorter as it is, but still. Yep, I should be still working, but I don't work on it. Right. Owner of a lonely heart, much better. Owner of a broken heart. Only west and east utility links is okay, and it matches what you already locked. Center fountain. He's up on the west side. He uses the gate fountain south walk. So to do More staff shortcuts. I don't really have a sense of size exactly. It might be big, but I guess it can't be too big because tourists aren't going to want to walk a mile or whatever to get to the other side. So relatively smallish. It doesn't have to be small, but not huge, I guess. By instinct, it's a resort postcard court, not a parade ground. Built to aim for long enough that west east feels like a real crossing. Are the castle short enough that the tourists with kids and bags don't groan? Rough, real world ballpark. Order of magnitude, not a blueprint. Many cloister hotel courts on the order of 100 to 200 plus feet across the side. Comfortable tourists shuffle west to east under a covered walk, maybe 1 to 2 minutes, not 15. So modest plaza with a fountain, not a mile long, mile big enough for hedges, roses, benches, and a gated north strip, small enough that the shortcut through the fountain actually is quicker than tromping service stairs. If you need a single phrase for notes, hotel courtyard scale, not stadium scale, that's enough for pros. Okay. Okay. Halfway walked up the stairs. And open the door to the colonnade. Covered northern walkway. There was a small stone fence about the height that was about as high as his. And he's a short dude, but we'll say, wait, 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot. 2, 3 foot. That's about 6 foot. That's about 7 or 8 feet. 4 foot, 4 feet. Mm. If he is short, we're gonna say he's 5'6", 5'6". Actually, my waist would be approximately, well, belt line essentially is not the actual waist. I think the waist is supposed to be around the hips, but the belt line basically. They're probably equidistant. Probably. Uh, hmm. was about as high as someone's waist. That separated the north of the, well, there's a small stone fence is about to his right, bifurcated with split in half by a small gate. More stairs, and it's the west side. See, originally the depots and stuff were down, so they could go up and down, but that's not the way this works here. Okay. He looked north to the other service entrance and figured he didn't need to go back into the service tunnels, and instead went through the gate. He started traveling. He started walking toward the fountain, but then took a left and went through the arched opening that led to the east depot. Actually, that's all that happens in this page. That's funny. I mean, there's not that much to it, right? Okay. Yeah. In the gallery, I guess there wasn't much I needed to put there, unless I wanted to describe the courtyard a bit more, which maybe I should do. I didn't think about that. Yeah, okay. Let's just go ahead and Control C, and then we're just gonna put this down here because I'm just gonna change it now because I should do a little bit more description at least. Detected pathological desire. It's okay if that's short. Not next floor. Discover courtyard has mystery level. Skips going back down the other server sent through this old original descend. Optional might required a bit more courtyard color to help the title land. Yeah, probably should do that. It doesn't have to be large though. To a covered walkway. To his right. Um, he had come up to the courtyard. As he was still near the door, to his right was another covered walkway. And there were two others covering the other sides. There was also about the height of someone's waist. Access to the courtyard itself was through a small gate split the fence in half. The courtyard was spacious enough. It had a method going from which had a fountain in the center and paths that went from the gate to the southern entrance. Um, and had a fountain in the center with benches around it and a path that the courtyard space which had a fountain in the center. Fountain then had benches around it and a path that encircled benches, that encircled them. The fountain had benches around it and a path that encircled them. along with paths that I think circle them from the circular path. Shorter paths radiated from it to the four cardinal directions. Halfway looked north to this other service entrance and figured he didn't need to go back into the service tunnels, and instead went through the gate and started walking toward the fountain, but then took a left and went through the arched opening that led to the East Depot. Read up in the gallery now and give me your assessment. Soft knits, LED, LED LED, right. Path and place both read clearly now. Vertical spatial lock up from service card walk courtyard, same show floor, not a mystery. Next level, courtyard picture, four covered sides, waste fence, gate, fountain, benches, ring path, paths to the Cardinals, hotel, port scale, easy to see. Choice in motion, glances at the other service entrance, skips it through the gate toward the fountain, peels east to the depot. Stay on the surface, pace short. Okay, soft nets, lead, lead, right, lead. To the East Depot. Lead, as in the metal lead, is LED. Lead, as in led somebody, directed somebody, is LED. I should remember that. You open into a covered walkway, and then to the right was another. If this door is on the west side, a quick northern or along the north once would match the restricted north band thrown side. Right now it's slightly generic which walk he stepped into. Thrown aside, thrown aside still isn't there. Fine if it's coming on another pass. This is the natural beat. Okay, let me rephrase here. To a covered walkway. He, we walked up the stairs and opened the door to a covered walkway. He'd come up to the courtyard, which was surrounded by more covered walkways. There was a small stone fence that was about as high as someone's waist. Access to the courtyard was south, so there's a fence and a half. Directly on halfway's left, directly across from the gate, was a couple of large double doors and large arched double doors with two guards. Okay. and set into the north wall. Two guards stood at either side. And the court was spacious enough and had a fountain in the center. Around the fountain were some benches and a path that encircled them. From the circular path, the shorter paths radiated from it, or cardinal directions. Okay, check it out now. Is it a little clearer? I'm not even saying that's the throne room. I don't know if I'd need that. I mean, I might need that. To the left was a throne room. Was the throne room? Behind two double doors. Maybe I should. Especially with the throne double doors, guards on the north wall. Excel's restricted north strip without a lecture. Halfway look north to the other service entrance. At the other utility door, the mouth is on the east side, mirrored west area. You should be looking east. Oh. Yeah. Here, I'll say it like this. Halfway. Okay. If we looked ahead to the east service entrance and figured he didn't need to go back into the service tunnels. Figured he didn't need to go back into the tunnels and instead went through the gate. He walked toward. Okay. Okay. Okay, check it out now, and also tell me if I should label it the throne room. Halfway knows it, but maybe the player slash reader should know it. Okay. Paycheck, yes, clear. Looked ahead to the east service entrance. Fixes the orientation path. Still reads clean. Yes, slightly. The player reader should know you don't need a mystery door here. Halfway already knows, so you can name it. Or in his glance without a plaque. Um, let's do something here. Do it. It's 4 paragraphs. On halfways, left, directly. Let's see. How does it say it? Arched double doors of the throne room. That's the arch. Arched double doors of the throne room set into the north wall. Um, he would if he still hadn't spotted Violet yet, he would check. Okay, he would check the throne room soon enough if he hadn't found Violet elsewhere. If he didn't find it, if he didn't find, if he didn't, okay, that's going to be kind of present tense. Didn't, did not find. If he could not, if he couldn't, if he couldn't find Violet elsewhere. Okay. Try now. I know it's taking a long time just to get this page right, which is, I don't know. Half of me says I should just split it through. The other half of me says you don't want to do that because you're gonna have to go back to it, and you don't really have that built in. I mean, I could still do that, but it means taking longer on this than. Does it throne room is named, guards are there, the line he would check the throne room soon enough if he couldn't find Violet elsewhere is exactly the east first repeat without slowing the page. Where was the arch? We're okay, okay. We're directly across from the gate were the arched double doors of the throne room. The arched double doors, the throne room. Let's sort. Wait, where's my period? Period. Uh, the doors were set into the north wall, and 2 guards stood at either side. I tweaked it a little bit. Check that out, please. Looks good. War is fixed, and splitting the throne doors sentence makes it easier to read. Path label and violet later line also Atlantic. Okay. It calls it done. I call it done. Okay. And it's really only like really one page down, so that kind of is okay. Up in the gallery. Now. Okay. The magic returns. Did I guess I could I guess I could look at it myself. And search fast man. Serum seemed to be very proficient. Only a few minutes of being in the air, he could do loops and turns and glides and swoops. Poor Halfway was hanging on for dear life, but Sir William was having the time of his. I should have had wings a long time ago, Master Wizard. Yes, well, if I had known you would become an aerialist, I would have cast a different spell. Just keep the thing steady. We have a job to do. Oh, very well, but this is the most fun I've had in years. The castle was approaching fast, but it wouldn't come soon enough for Halfway. Not only would he be on the ground, but he'd also have his full magic. Well, I can't wait to restore you, Sir William, with your human feet planted firmly on the ground. Look over there. Halfway pointed at the west terrace. Set me down there, between the turnstiles and the ticket counter. Alright. Oh, see you there. See you there. As you wish, Master Wizard. Don't call me Master Wizard. Call me Halfway like everyone else. As you wish, Master Wit. Halfway. With that, Sir William took off. Okay, so do I need an extra page? So let's go ahead and bring up the actual project here in Redot, and let's what did I do? The two. Oh, the stupid 2 deals. Forget 2 deals. Okay. Master Wizard. Okay. And actually, that's the first one, right? That's not even. Yes. Search of half magic. And the unicorn. Okay. Hmm. So apparently I haven't had Halfway explain the half magic to Sir William. Yeah, have time. And that should be near the in search of half magic page. See, I might have, like I said, I might have to do an extra page in there, right? And what I'll be doing is I'll be adding a page. I won't be, and then I can actually speed it up. I can actually split it up. Correct, you have it on in search of a banter about flying and drop off. Halfway only says he'll have his full magic city, no custom. Yes, that page is the right home mid flight before set me down. It's literally titled for it. When you add it, it'll probably also soften. All right, you return to bats or leave that order and have William disobey or change his mind. Either works. It belongs on this ride. So even if I write a shortened paragraph for the explanation, I'll have to significantly shorten the banter, or make it 2 pages. Um, 1 page trim banter recommended if you want speed. Keep 2 or 3 funny flight lines, then a short explanation. Then land plus choice. Cut the repeated master wizard beat or shorten the aerialist bit. 2 pages. There's flight plus half magic. Violet proximity explanation when files it away. Reading where says natural. Either page bloats. 1 page explanation instead of banter. If you're only willing to lose most of the comment, usually not worth it. If the explanation is truly short, 1 page with a trimmed banter works if you want both fun and will include learning the rules split. And so it's going to be Master Wizard. How are you going to spell to retrieve your magic if it's only working at half capacity? Ritual, traditional, classically, customarily. Okay, so customarily, both spouses give half of their magic to each other. She never reciprocated, which means there's still a link. I don't know if that makes sense logically, though. The closer I get, the more it's restored. But still doesn't give me the magic permanent. For that, I need to cast a spell. And to be fully functional, I need to at least touch be touching her. I need to be in physical contact. Should be able to grab her hand. For that. Am I missing anything here? Because I think I still might be. There, I suppose there should probably be a hint that suggests to Sir William that she'll need a nudge to where they're in contact. You got the load bearing bits. Question, custom, no reciprocation, link, proximity helps contact to cast, grab her hand. That's enough for William to think to get her in reach. Optional. Optional ads if you want them on this ride. She talked him into sharing early, tricked him. He locked origin. One clause was enough. She talked me into share before his proper bond. Forget hers. We'll try to keep distance. That's why she runs it. It still doesn't. Let's see. Okay, let's what? Okay. Good. All right. Optional ads. Talk to him sharing early. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a new window, and I'm going to paste this text here. And then I'll decide if I can shut it down, or I can pare it down a little bit. She tricked me into giving mine before we were wed. And She tricked me into giving mine before we were wed and never reciprocated, which means um, they're gonna change it a little bit. Before we were wed and never reciprocated. In order for it to be complete, let's see something. She never reciprocated. Um, the ceremony, the ritual, the ceremony. I'm trying to avoid actual witchcraft connotations, so I'm leaning towards calling it a ceremony rather than ritual. Ceremony is a better word. Fairy tale ritual leans occult witchcraft. Ceremony leads wedding custom. Fairy tale kingdom fits enchanted lands. Um, or I could say spell, but it's not technically a spell unless it is in other words, unless I decide that's technically called a spell, what they're doing is a spell. Uh, keep a spell off the moment. Part of a ceremony. Not halfway doing his usual hats and fingers casting magic moves because of the bond ceremony, the way a wedding does something social and magical once in a fairy tale without calling it combat spell. Cast while touching her. Okay. Let me think for just a second here. Um, it's kind of like casting a spell. Instead of wearing crazy hats and wiggling my fingers, we must remain in physical contact. There's still a link. as she broke contact. Still a link because she broke off contact. Before her magic transferred. It means I need. Okay. Here. Because she broke off contact before half the magic transferred. Okay. Because of that, the magic is still technically in transit. I need to re-establish contact. I need to re-establish contact. As I get closer to her, my magic returns to me, but not permanently. Permanently re-establish transferred. Because of that, the magic is still technically in transit. I need to re-establish contact. As I get closer to her, my magic returns to me, but not permanently. The more it increases, the better chance I'll have at casting a spell that will take my magic back. So I need to grab her hand, but she'll attempt to keep as much distance between us as possible. Okay, okay. Okay, well, I've got more text here, but it still may need some tweaking. And my time is up for the session, of course. And I did get one page done today. Actually, that's good. I can actually I can actually go there. Now, 270. Done. This covers everything you need. Trick before the wedding, no reciprocation, link in transit, proximity, helps contact, reclaim spell for keep, she'll stay away. Whim can act on that. Strongest new bit, broke contact before her half moved in. Still in transit. That's a clean fairy tale logic. Hat's line separates ceremony share from his usual casting. Soft tweaks, optional. One idea. Once you say reestablish contact, then closer restores, then grab her hand, fine, but I touch repetitive. You could cut, go straight. I need to reestablish contact and go straight from in transit to proximity, grab hand, spell. Uh, Magic returns to me, but not permanently. The more it increases, the better chance I'll have at casting the spell. Uh, to reclaim my magic. Uh, Absolute versus chance. Better chance I'll cast sits a little soft next to I need to grab her hand. Either contact is required to finish the reclaim or closer helps. Touch locks it. Keep it touch required for a permanent take back. Um, I need to get closer to her. My magic returns to me, but not permanently. I need to grab her hand, but she'll attempt to keep as much. Solid speech is okay. Hmm. Um, um, we need. Okay. We need to remain in physical contact for the ceremony to finish. It's still a link because she broke off contact before half the magic transferred. The magic is still technically in transit, and as I get closer, my magic gets stronger. She'll she'll attempt to keep as much distance between us as possible. And then, what was the thing he said? She must not let you touch her. Okay, customary will give half their magic to each other. She tricked me into giving mine before we were wed and never reciprocated. We need to remain in physical contact for the ceremony to finish. There's still a link because she broke off contact before half the magic transferred. Magic is still technically in transit, and as I get closer, my magic gets stronger. Here. So she must not use touch her. I think it doesn't have to be capitalist. She must. Exactly. I actually like the wording that this came up with. So, I don't save this. I'll actually put it. See, about much tighter. Small gap. Much tighter and William beat lands. Custom trick, no reciprocation. Approximately strength that she must let each other exactly per. One small gap. William's first question was about casting the reclaim spell. So if I can at least touch her hand. Uh, I can. That's when magic is strongest. I can cast reclamation spell. Okay. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to take my break in a few minutes, and I'm gonna extend my break. It'll still be an hour, so it'll extend it later, which is okay. That's it. That closes the custom. She'll avoid touch hand contact reclamation spell. Micropause. We need to remain. We had to remain past ceremony. We had. Okay, had. I get it. Had to remain. Cast the reclamation spell. Clear and formal. Fine as is. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tab, and tab. Uh, okay. And actually, let's go ahead and we're gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy it and leave it up there instead of just cutting it, and then we're going to Short time later, Sir William spoke to have again. Again. They didn't speak again until the castle was in It was approaching fast, but this is a long one. This is a, well, wait a second. Wait, no, it's 3, right? 1, 2. Oh, it's 3. Scan and search of magic again with additions, and then let me know what you think, but I'll have to get back to you after my break. So thanks so far, and I'll meet you well. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop it here, and okay, stop streaming. Okay, thank you for watching part 1.